Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is the last day for Between Us. This is episode 12, and when I tell you that I have been emotional all day, I had plans to watch other stuff today and I couldn't do it. I can't get out of that frame of mind right now for Between Us. And I loaded it up and it said episode 12 and I can't be dealing with it. I'm emotional already. So it's quite a short episode too. It's 53 minutes. I have brought Nong Brock over for support, my little companion. And we're just gonna go into it. We're gonna finish it Between Us. Bonkers. Let's do it. I'm ready. Do we have subtitles? Yes. Do we have the sound at an acceptable level? Yes. Wonderful. Let's do it. I'm not ready to say goodbye to this series, but I think you could give me 100 episodes and I would still not be ready to say goodbye. So we're just gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be fine. And then we're gonna rewatch it immediately. Sorry, I've got my Valorant volume. Oh, what a journey. How can 12 weeks go so quickly? I don't even know. It's funny when I think about like my work this month. January's felt like it's gone really slow. But when I think about Between Us, I feel like I'm still waiting for it to start airing. I can't believe it's... How did the last week come so quickly? I don't know. Hey, plushie! Cute. So cute. Cute t-shirt too. Oh yeah, we're going back to the grave, right? But he's gonna take Win with him.
อุตส่าห์เตรียมไปให้ก็ไม่ได้ให้เลยอะครั้งนี้ผมจะเอาไปให้จริงๆแล้วนะ
Oh, it's so good to see him be able to smile when talking to Ton, though. He's in such a good place right now. He's really getting there. I'm proud of him. Cute.
พร้อมยังพร้อมแล้วเฮียเอารถใครไปดีอะรถกูไม่เอาเฮียนั่งมอไซค์ไปชลบุรีตูดชาพอดีอะพี่คราวก่อนกูขับไปหามึงยังไม่บ่นเลยโอ้เฮียเอารถผมไปก็ได้น้ำมันเต็มถังแถมฟรีคนป้อนขนมตลอดทางเลยนะกูล้อเล่น
Cute.
กลัวรถใหญ่ไปโหไม่นั่งเบนซ์ด้วยฮอร์กูมีนะถ้ามึงอยากนั่งเดี๋ยวกูขับไปเปลี่ยนที่บ้านให้ไม่เอาเฮียแค่นั่งเบนซ์ก็สบายแล้วกูเอาฮอร์มาแล้วเปิดประตูไม่เป็นอยู่กับกูมึงจะกลัวอะไรอีกฮะแค่เปิดประตูรถไม่ต้องชงข้าวหวานก็ได้ปะ
Cute.
ก็กูรักอ่ะ
Cute. Oh, they're in such a good place. Oh, they're in such a good place.
ไม่จำอยู่ได้ถ้าไม่ให้กูพูดงั้น
Cute.
ผมจะเอาให้ตัวนี้ไปด้วยไว้กันเฮีย
It didn't do much last time to protect you. It was just sitting there on the floor.
เดินทางกัน
Oh, look at these three all hanging out.
เป็นไงคบกับดาราสนุกไหมล่ะ
โอ้ยปวดหลัง
Cute.
เดี๋ยววันนี้เราเตรียมน้ำอุ่นไว้ให้แช่นะ
Looks like we're getting the manager on board too, no? Very good.
ยื่นหัวโดยดีนะจ๊ะ
แต่ผมไม่ฟัง แล้วผมก็จมน้ำ แต่ทำไมคนที่ตายถึงเป็นพี่
You were just a child. You have to forgive yourself.
ทีม ก่อนที่มึงจะรอให้ใครมายกโทษให้ มึงต้องให้อภัยตัวเองก่อน
Mm-hmm.
เข้าใจไหม ทำไมคนที่ตายวันนั้นไม่ใช่ผมไอ้เฮีย ถ้าผมตายอะทุกอย่างมันก็คงดีกว่านี้ ไม่ดีหรอ มึงห้ามตายได้ยินไหม
ทีมลูกทำไมลูกยังคิดแบบนั้นอยู่อีก ป้าไม่ได้โกรธไม่ได้เกลียดทีมเลยนะลูก
แต่ถ้าผมทำให้พี่ตาย ป้าบอกว่าผมเป็นคนฆ่าพี่
โถลูก ป้าขอโทษนะ ที่ป้าพูดแบบนั้น ตอนนั้นป้าเสียใจมาก ป้าพูดอะไรป้าเลยไม่ได้คิดทีมให้เราทำไมเราไม่ต้องทำไมไม่รู้ แม้กระทั่ง ทีมจะเก็บมันฝังใจ
มาตา ผมขอโทษนะโตตา ผมขอโทษที่ผมเป็นต้นเหตุที่เรื่องมันเป็นแบบนี้ มาตาเขาจะบอกผมได้ไหมว่าผมชดใช้อะไรได้บ้างอะมาตา
ไม่มีแล้วลูก ที่ผ่านมา ทีมก็ชดใช้มันมากพอแล้ว
แต่ว่า
ต่อไปนี้ ทีมต้องเป็นนักว่ายน้ำที่เก่ง แล้วก็มีความสุข แทนพี่เขาก็พอนะลูกนะ
มาตา
ป้ารักทีม เหมือนกับที่ป้ารักพี่ต้นนะคะ
ขอบคุณครับมาตา
It's rough, no? Difficult to watch. Man. I'm so proud of the team for being able to tell when.
นอนได้แล้ว
I'm good. We're hanging in there. We're good. Oh, man. I'm so glad he got to hear that from Auntie Ta, too. He needs to forgive himself.
แล้ว ถ้าได้คุยอีก จะคุยปะ ถึงอยากกูก็ไล่มันไปแล้วปะ
ไปตอนนี้กูก็เสียฟอร์มแย่ดิอีกอย่างกูก็ไม่รู้จักตัวจริงมันด้วยซ้ำ
Only one way to find out.
ไม่รู้
Get to know him. Yeah.
เอางี้ ถ้ามันมาง้อ จะยอมคุยดีๆป่ะ
ไม่รู้
Does Win know that he's
อะไร
here?
เฮียวะ
ก็ต้องลองมาง้อดูก่อนปะวะ เฮ้ย
พี่ว่าน
You sneaky motherfucker.
ง้อแล้วครับพี่ พี่ว่าน
How cute, he's smiling.
ดังไม่ได้นะครับผมอยู่ในความสงบครับ
มาจับผมทำไมอ่ะ
เชิญด้านนี้
ของโรงแรมนะพี่
เชิญด้านนี้ครับ
พี่ว่านช่วยด้วยพี่
Cute.
ไอ้น้องทรยศ
One is
เสร็จ
smiling.
โดนแน่
จะเคลียร์ท่าไหนดีล่ะ
ฝาก
Win is very sneaky, no? Still very good at fixing things within his family. Like to see it. That was super cute. Tool is definitely a determined individual.
โอ้โห นี่โรงแรมของพี่จริงๆเหรอเนี่ย
You're right. Let's hope this
มึ
goes
งก็
well.
รู้อยู่แล้วนี่ เรื่องชีวิตก็รู้หมดแล้ว จะถามทำไม
โหพี่ว่านะ ก็ผมไม่กล้าบอกพี่อะว่าผมเป็นใคร ผมกลัวว่าถ้าพี่รู้ความจริง พี่จะไม่กล้าคุยกับผมเหมือนเดิมอะ
แล้วนี่คิดจะหลอกกูไปถึงเมื่อไหร่ ถ้ากูไม่ล้มหัวฟาดพื้น มึงจะหลอกกูไปจนตายเลยใช่ปะ
ก็ไม่แน่นะ
ไอ้ตุล
ผมก็หาโอกาสบอกอยู่นี่แหละครับ แต่พี่ก็รู้ความจริงแล้วนี่ ถ้างั้น เราเลิกเอาเรื่องอดีตมาพูดกันดีกว่าเนาะ
แล้วที่มาเนี่ย ถ้าไม่พูดถึงเรื่องอดีต จะมาทำไม
ผมจะมาพูดเรื่องอนาคตอะ
Cute.
อนาคตของผมกับพี่
I like Tool a lot.
อะไรของมึงเนี่ย มึงทำอะไรเนี่ย
ก็หอมแก้มพี่ไง
ลำปามนะมึงอะ
พี่ว่าน พี่ยังเป็นอนาคตของผมได้ไหมอะผมอยากมีพี่อยู่
Aww.
ในอนาคตนะ
Cute.
แต่กูจะต้องย้ายมาทำงานที่นี่อะแล้วมึงก็เรียนอยู่กรุงเทพ คนละจังหวัดเลยนะ
กรุงเทพชลบุรี ก็แค่ปากซอยปะ
We've already come here like 3 times this
ใช่
show.
กลับทุกวันยังได้เลย
It can't be that
แต่
far.
กูแก่กว่ามึงเกือบ4 ปีเลยนะ
ไม่เป็นไร ผมชอบคนแก่
Okay.
พี่ว่านะ อย่าเพิ่งพูดถึงเรื่องที่ยังไม่เกิดขึ้นได้ไหมอะผมอยากเป็นเซฟโซนของพี่จริงๆนะ อยากให้พี่สบายใจที่จะพูด สบายใจที่จะคุย เหมือนที่พี่ไว้ใจทีเล็กมันอะ
You guys can be the gaming couple. Have your own dual gaming setup. How cool would that be?
ลองก็ได้
ลองอะไรเรา
ลองคบดูก็ได้ อีกอย่างกูก็แก่ละ ไม่อยากเลิกเยอะเสียเวลา
Cute. Oh, so cute.
อยากทำแบบนี้มาตั้งนานเรา
มากไป
Everyone's happy right now, no? Literally everyone. What? That escalated quickly. Hello?
ไม่มีมึงแล้วกูกินไม่ลงและ
Cute.
อันนี้เอามาให้ผมเหรอ ลืมธรรมเนียมไปแล้วเหรอ ก่อนกินต้องทำไงอะ
แล้วมันกลายเป็นธรรมเนียมตอนไหนนี่เฮีย
กูเพิ่งสร้างขึ้นมา หอมก่อนเร็ว
Cute.
อืม
Cute. Cute.
เบื่อแกล้งแล้วอะไอทีม เล่นไม่รู้เรื่องนะมึงอะทำไมเฮียไม่
I love them so much.
ไม่ใช่ไม่ชอบ แต่ถ้าทำแบบเนี้ย เดี๋ยวก็ไม่ได้กินข้าว
อะไรของเฮียเนี่ย
So cute. The best sponsors in the entire world have been in this show, no?
เฮียปะเร็ว รอด้วยหิวข้าวแล้วเนี่ย
This is so perfect. I can't even. It's so perfect. Oh, man. Oh, I'm gonna miss these guys a lot now.
เนี่ยรู้ปะว่าวันนี้เป็นวันที่ผมหัวโลกมากที่สุดเลยอะมันเหมือนกับ มีใครมายกเอาก้อนหินออกจากหัวผมเลยอะขนาดนั้นเลย ขนาดนั้นเลยเฮียตอนที่เกิดเรื่องขึ้นแรกๆอะผมเป็นโรคนอนไม่หลับจนต้องกินยา มันทรมานมากเลยนะเฮียง่วงแทบตาย แต่ก็นอนไม่ได้เพราะกลัวฝันร้ายอะแล้วตอนนี้มึงนอนหลับได้แล้วใช่ไหม ก็คงต้องลองดูอะเฮีย ตั้งแต่ผมมานอนกับเฮีย ก็ดีขึ้นเรื่อยๆนะ มีเหตุผลไหมว่าทำไม ก็ไม่รู้เหมือนกัน อยู่กับเฮียแล้ว ผมรู้สึกปลอดภัยอะ
Oh.
อยู่กับเฮีย ผมโคตรสบายใจเลย เหมือนกันแหละ ตอนที่อยู่กับมึง กูไม่อยากไปไหนอีกเลยอะไม่อยากให้เชื่อเลยเนาะ เริ่มจากความสัมพันธ์อะไรก็ไม่รู้ กูไม่สนหรอก รู้แค่ว่า โคตรรักเลยอะ
Cute. The signature leaning the foreheads together. It's a WinTeam thing now, no? It's so sweet. Ah, so beautiful. I'm so emotional.
อร่อยมากเลย
I'm so proud of Team. I really am. Hell yeah. He's so zoomy. Woo! Oh, so sweet. He can actually be happy at getting a gold medal for himself. Cute. This is the couple I'm interested in. I don't know where we're at with the timeline. How are you guys getting on?
คุณที่มาส่งนะครับ ครับ เรียนเสร็จเจอกันนะ ครับ
Well, I don't know what's going on with all their other shit, but they're doing great, no? They're doing great. I don't know. God, can you imagine people that watch Between Us who haven't seen Until We Meet Again? And they got no idea. They just think Palm just cries a lot sometimes. They got no idea all the other shit that's going on with those two, no? Although I guess in Until We Meet Again, you didn't really know what was going on with WinTeam either, so it works both ways. But it's just funny because they got a lot of shit going on there. You wouldn't know about it just watching this. And you came back to the beach. Pretty. You're being watched. The Until We Meet Again music makes me emotional every time I hear it. Boyfriend incoming. And you're both looking real good right now.
เนี่ยแอบหนีมาคนเดียวอีกแล้ว ไม่ได้หนีสักหน่อยมาคิดอะไรเรื่อยเปื่อยคิดอะไรอยู่เล่าให้กูฟังบ้างดิ ก็คิดถึงอนาคต คิดถึงวันพรุ่งนี้ แล้วก็ต่อไปอ่ะมันจะเป็นยังไงบ้าง และอนาคตที่มึงคิดไว้เป็นยังไงหรอ ก็ไม่รู้เหมือนกันแต่ทุกอย่างเยอะอยู่ด้วยหมดเลยนะ
Cute.
งั้นความคิดเราก็คงเหมือนกันเนาะพร้อมไหมพร้อมอะไรเฮีย
Oh, they're cheating by using the Until We Meet Again music. That song makes me emotional every time. Man.
ชอบทะเลจัง ชอบฟังเสียงคลื่น แล้วก็ชอบสายนุ่งๆพี่ก็ชอบเหมือนกัน หมายถึงทะเล
ชอบคนที่ชอบทะเล
เออ
เรียนจบเนี่ย เวลาเราคงไม่ค่อยตรงกัน พี่ก็ต้องทำงานของพี่พามก็ต้องทำงานของพามถึงเวลานั้นพี่กลัวว่าเรา
พามเข้าใจพี่ดีทุกอย่าง
งั้น ปิดเทอมนี้ เราไปหาคุณแม่พามที่อเมริกาด้วยกันนะ
พี่ดีน
เราจะไปจดทะเบียนสมรสกันที่นั่น ตามที่พี่สัญญากับพามเอาไว้
พี่ดีน
นะครับคุณพาม พี่รู้ว่ายังไงเราก็ไม่มีทางเลิกรักกันหรอกแต่พี่อยากมีบางอย่าง ที่จะแสดงให้เห็นว่า พี่จะรัก แล้วก็ดูแลพามตลอดไป
พามรักพี่ดีนะครับ
รักเท่าพี่รักพามหรือเปล่าครับ
อาจจะมากกว่าด้วยซ้
จริงเหรอ
Cute.
เรื่องนี้มันต้องพิสูจน์นะ
ำพี่ดีน
ไหนลองหอมแก้มพี่บ้างสิ
Cute.
พี่ดีนน่ะไม่อยู่ด้วยแล้วไปหาทีมดีกว่า
พวกไม่สู้เหรอครับ เจอแน่
Cute.
พาม
เฮีย ปล่อยได้แล้ว อะไรของเฮียเนี่ยปล่อย เฮีย
Pretty. So pretty.
ขอบคุณนะ ที่ไว้ใจให้กูดูแลมึงตลอดไปอ่ะ
ผมก็จะอยู่ให้เฮียดูแลตลอดไปเหมือนกัน ผมรักเฮียนะ
กูก็รักมึง
แต่ผมมีเรื่องหนึ่งอยากขอเฮีย
อะไรล่ะ
เฮียมาว่ายน้ำแข่งกับผมนะ
อะไรพามแก้มแดงหมดแล้วเนี่ย
ยังไงครับ
แดงอะไร
อะไรมึง
Cute.
แซวแต่กู
พามก็แก้มแดง
ดูคู่เองด้วย
ถ่ายรูปไม่สวยเลย
ปิดเยอะๆนะ
ต้องมึงถ่ายไปตั้งเยอะ
ว่าย
แล้ว
น้
สภาพกูดูกูมีมึงคนเดียว
เฮ้ย พวกมึงอยู่เถียงกันเถอะ
กูไปถ่ายรูปให้กูเป็น
เลิ
โป
ก
กเลย
เถียงกัน
เนี่ย
ได้แล้ว
ปีอยู่ไหนเนี่ย อ้าวโอ้ยมึงอุ้ย เมื่อกี้คือยังไง เมื่อกี้คือยังไง ตามแล้วนะโอ้ย
หมาวัดอัพเวลวะ
Cute.
ผมอะไร พี่นั่นแหละอ่อนเองอย่ามาอ้างได้ปะ
แต่มึงก็ซนไงทำช้า
ไม่จริงอ่ะ
ำยังไงพี่พลึก
มะนาว
เอาแฟนมาเปิดตัว
ตายละตายละ
เอาผมมา
ว่าไม่เคยเจอ
ทุกคน คือ กูมีอะไรจะบอกอ่ะ
จะบอกนะว่าจะแต่งงานกันนะ
เฮ้ยไม่ใช่ ไม่ใช่ คือ กูจะท้าเฮียวินแข่งว่ายน้ำอ่ะ
โอ้โหนึกว่าอะไร
ก็จะชนะได้เหรอ
เอ้ย
ทำไมจะไม่ได้อะเฮีย
กูเป็นไร
ไม่รู้
ลองดู
Cute. They're actually gonna compete. Hell yeah.
พร้อมยังเฮีย แล้วมึงล่ะ พร้อมยัง พร้อมตั้งนานแล้ว
Boyfriends who swim together stay together, no? Very cool. Everyone gets their happy ending. So you may have noticed I cut most, if not all, of the end credits. I feel like I did a pretty good job of not just sobbing the whole way through the episode. I had a couple of moments where it was just too emotional for me, but other than that, I think I did a pretty good job of like keeping it reined in. But as soon as the end credits rolled up and you could see like the group pictures of the cast and stuff, I just cried and I couldn't stop crying. So I'll just cut all of the end credits and everything after that so that you don't have to see all of that for 10 minutes. I'm just really emotional. I've never watched anything like this before, so I've watched things week by week, and I've watched things week by week that I've really, really enjoyed, like vice versa and stuff, but I've never watched something this important to me that I've had to watch week by week, right? So all of the other shows that I've watched that feel really important to me and are like way up there, like Not Me and The Eclipse and everything, I was able to binge. I mean, I think The Eclipse I had to wait for like the last 2 weeks, but for the most part I was able to binge all of these shows that I feel are like top tier, right? And I feel like, you know, there's only a handful of shows that really feel like they're completely next level for me, and they, whether or not they're the best made or anything, it doesn't matter. It feels like they're just really deep rooted in my heart, and 2 of them are Not Me and Until We Meet Again. Both of them I was able to binge all in one go and then just rewatch all in one go. So the experience was over within kind of like a week. But this is the first time where I've had a show that feels important to me and characters that feel important to me, but I've had to wait week by week, so it's been like a drawn out experience over months. And you just get so attached. I mean, especially because we already know these characters, right? Going into episode 1, you already love them from Until We Meet Again, so you're already attached to them, and then that just like builds and builds over the months, and I feel like I'm saying goodbye to something really important to me. So a couple of things I want to say before I forget, and then we'll quickly just have a line or two about the episode, and then I will do my review. I can't believe I have to do my review for this. Right, so before I forget, we definitely got some damp hair team in this, right? So I will update the damp hair team thread on Twitter for the final week. I will do that after this. And I will retweet that. It will be in the description as well. If you want to see any moment where team had wet hair in this show, I managed to capture it and put it in the thread. Do let me know if I missed any scenes, but I think you will be hard pressed to find any because I was I was so diligent about it every week. So I will update that for the final time, and that will be in the description box. There is also a link in the description box for the Broccoli Circus Discord server. It's an amazing place if you use Discord. I'm not a huge sociable person. I'm very introverted and I don't make friends very easily and things. So I'm not one of those people who's constantly joining servers and chatting to people and stuff. But I recommend this server if you are a broccoli, if you love Between Us, if you love BounPrem, WinTeam, anything like that. The server is the place for you. Everyone is so lovely and welcoming. I really love it there, and there is a place for you to discuss your feelings about the show and the final episode as well. It's a really great community. So if you are interested in that, I will also link that down below as well so that you can join. Because I feel like all of us who really loved this show are probably feeling a little bit emotional right now. Maybe not as emotional as me, I don't know, but we've all got some level of emotion of saying goodbye to the show and the characters. So, you know, don't be alone with it. Join the community and say hi to everyone. Everyone is so lovely. And the other thing I was going to put below was my personal goodbye to WinTeam. I have no experience with editing whatsoever, so don't expect like an amazing edit or anything like that. But I wanted to make a little edit for them just to say goodbye to them. So I did that last night and I shared that on Twitter, but I will link that below as well if you're interested in seeing that. So basically, everything interesting, check the description box. The episode was amazing. I loved it so much. It was such a perfect wrap up. Everyone got their happy ending. We got to see a little bit of every single couple and they're all doing great. I can't fault it. I really can't. It was very, very sweet. Honestly, I love it. I love it. I think they did a good job. I'm sorry, Nong Brock. You had to soak up so many of my tears. Sorry. So I'm gonna do the review. I don't know how I'm gonna do the review, but I will do the review and then I will be back. Alright, I am back. I would like to say I'm a little less emotional after taking time to write the review, but honestly, writing the review made me emotional too. So I'm not doing too much better. So, the review for Between Us. I will put it up on screen now. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Can we talk about the fact that all of my like shiny line series are ones that I start off saying, I don't think I can watch that. I had the same thing with Until We Meet Again, with Not Me. And with this, I remember watching the pilot and saying, I don't think I can watch it. And here we are, giving it shiny lines. I decided to give it shiny lines around about 15 minutes into episode 1, and I'm not exaggerating. It's somewhere around the time where Win and Prook are talking by the pool, and Prook is saying about like, have you ever seen the person that like they feel like they're the one for you? And you see Win like looking over at Team, and the music kicks in, the really beautiful music. And at that point I just knew I was gonna be in love with this show. And it was already like way above my expectations. Even moments like where we see Team looking up at the pool and saying like, oh, I'll see you later, and Win turns around and sees him for the first time. Like all of those moments in episode 1, I was already like, okay, this is so much better than I thought it would be. So I knew pretty early on into the first episode that this show was going to blow me away. And I kept waiting for it to disappoint me, and it just never did. Every week there was something to love. There was a scene that I was falling in love with. And the tropes that were used in this were some of my favourite tropes. We had the nightmares and distress while sleeping, while the other person comforts them, and then they calm down. We saw that multiple times, right, with Team's nightmares. The cuddling up in bed and their foreheads touching is such a Win Team thing. I feel like no matter like what I watch from now on, if there's a couple that does that, I will think of them. There's so much to love about this. So of course it had to get shiny lines. It had to. Yes, I did cry. I think I managed to make it until Ooh, I don't remember the episode number. I made it pretty late, right? I didn't even cry during all the stress of episode 6, was it? With the close drowning situation in the pool and then their argument and everything. I don't think I even cried then. I made it all the way until Team visits Ton's grave for the first time in the series, and he hides behind the hedge, behind the bushes, while Ton's mother visits, and you can see him like crying but like having to hush himself so that he doesn't get caught and found out and stuff. I made it until that point before I cried, and then I cried a lot this episode, I'm not gonna lie. It was worth every tear. It really was. My favourite characters, I was strict with myself for this one because when I thought about it, I loved all the characters, and there's a lot of characters in this. You don't need me to write Palm and Dean and Manal and Prook on this list. You know I love them. Like, you don't need them on the list to know that I loved them. I loved everyone in this show. I loved Prince and B. I loved A and C. You know, I loved One and Tull, and I loved View. All of the characters were so wholesome that the whole cast would be on that box. So I had to be strict with myself. Win and Team, obviously going to be on there. I love them so much. I love them more than I can explain in words. And the character that I found myself most excited to see and rooting for and really invested in, and just in general, I was so interested in their character and story, that was Tull. One and Tull, the gaming couple, I was obviously going to be invested in. But my heart went out to Tull the last couple episodes, and I was rooting for him. He's a sweetheart. So they're definitely my top 3 characters. The things I struggled with, I promise you I sat here and tried to think of things to put in this box. It didn't have any tropes in it that I dislike. It didn't have a temporary breakup. It didn't have a time jump. It didn't have someone going abroad. It didn't have love triangles. It avoided every single trope that I hate. And it's a perfect example that you can have an interesting story with conflict and drama without having a love triangle and jealousy and feeling threatened and left out. It avoided all of that. It was beautiful. It was so beautiful, and I couldn't think of anything I hated about it. The only thing I hate is that it's over. What I liked about it, I'm gonna preface this by saying I feel like there's probably stuff I've missed. I don't have time to sit and go through every single episode like I did with... Oh, what did I just finish watching? You're My Sky. You're My Sky. I sat there and I went through every single episode and scanned through them all to find my favourite scenes. I don't have time to do that today. So unfortunately, I've probably missed a few things here and there. So if you wonder, like, wow, I can't believe she didn't put that on the list, I've probably forgotten it. I really have. I tried to cover what I could think of, and it's not in order. I just wrote them down as I thought about them. So episode 1, the consent scene at the end of the episode, and Win asking Team the questions. Now, this is not the NC scene. In particular, this is specifically the lead up to the NC scene where they are having that consent conversation. It was amazing. No, it was next level. There was such intimacy and like raw desire that you could just feel from the characters. Like you could hear in the audio their shaking breathing, the way that their voices kind of trembled when they were answering the questions. They could barely barely hold it under control. They wanted each other so badly, and it was so well acted by Boon and Prem. Actually amazing. I loved that whole scene. You get all of the hesitation and nerves but excitement as well from Team. You know, when you hear him say he's had 3 drinks and you can just hear that little kind of tremble in his voice. Win is almost in disbelief that Team even followed him back to the room. and he you know, makes sure that Team is like coherent and sober and knows what's going on. I don't know, it just, and then they're just overcome with that desire and they just go for it. That, it was beautiful. It was such a good scene. I mean, talk about a killer opening episode. Way to get us hooked on the chemistry of WinTeam. Every single time they cuddled in bed with their foreheads touching and stuff like that, it happened multiple times. I don't remember all the episode numbers. It's such a WinTeam thing with their foreheads touching like that. Every kind of scene that they had in bed at night was so romantic and so sweet. I loved it. The music in the show was beautiful. I quite often forget to do the cassette tape icon these days. But I remembered it for this one. We had some beautiful new songs, absolutely stunning. They are on Spotify. We had some that were sung by Prem, some by Boon. We had a couple of new ones from other artists like Boys and Pop, who did the Until We Meet Again music. Jew someone or other was another artist. The music was gorgeous, and not just the new music, but the reprises of the Until We Meet Again music as well, and when they bring in all the Until We Meet Again music, amazing. And they're really good with the timing of the music too. Like, I think about the end of episode 5, I think it was, when Prem is swimming alone at the pool at the end of the episode. It's silent right as he's about to dive in the water, and then as he dives into the water, his song kicks in and you get goosebumps. It's so well timed, and they do that in a couple of different, well, in multiple different scenes. The timing of when the music kicks in is so good. I loved it. The NC scenes were fire. They were fire. The sexual tension, the desire, the hesitation, all of that. We had episode 1, we had episode 2 with the locker room scene. Jesus, I think there was some fatalities that day. We had oh god, I mean, they've slept together a lot, right? But in terms of like the focus, we had that scene, I don't remember the episode, but when they were in the bar and they spent the week in the public toilets. We had all of that as well. We had the Kanchanaburi trip where they had their first night together as boyfriends. Every scene that they had that was an NC scene was so well done, but they were also really different. Like I said, you've kind of got that hesitation and really kind of nervous but excited vibe from episode 1. In episode 2, you've got that overwhelming, burning desire for each other, and they realize that it can't just be a one-night stand. It has to be like another. They gotta go again. They had to go again. And you really get that kind of unrestrained need for each other. I think that was really good. And then you contrast that with like in the bar, in the public toilets, where when they just had that conversation with the friends, and Win doesn't know how to communicate how he's feeling about Team in any other way than through physical contact. So that was like, you could see that was his way of like trying to explain how he feels about Team. And then you've got the rafting trip, and that was so intimate and so emotional. It was so beautiful. I don't know, they all had a different vibe to them. They all brought something new, and I really liked that. I like that the characters need each other. It's not just some random relationship, right? Win helps with Team's trauma, and Team helps Win to feel wanted, to not be afraid to have someone important to him, and not to be afraid to fall in love. You know, Win needs to realize that he has to take care of himself too, and Team helps him realize that. In this last episode, you can really see how happy they are, and how, like Team said, it's like all the rocks are gone from his head, right? They're content, they're calm, and it's something that is facilitated through each other. They helped each other, and they really need each other, and I think that's so wonderful. I loved all the references to Until We Meet Again. I loved the extra scenes for the old side couples, so Palm and Dean. Manao and Brooke. I loved the reprised music. Every time they were on screen, you had the piano version of Until We Meet Again in the background. I loved it. I can understand maybe as people who didn't watch Until We Meet Again, or people who maybe didn't enjoy Until We Meet Again, I can maybe understand, you know, that they were just regular side couples to those people, and they really weren't that bothered to see it. But as someone who loved Until We Meet Again and who felt like it was a next level love story, you know, that transcends lifetimes, for goodness sake, it felt so romantic. I loved Until We Meet Again, and I loved the characters, and I'm here because of it. So anytime we saw references to that, like the scenes being redone or reshot or just literally taken from Until We Meet Again and put into the show, I loved all of it. I really did. I feel like I'm part of the world, like I'm going back to the world. It's really amazing that they did that. I liked that the new couples were cute and wholesome. So Prince and Bee, they were just sweet, no? And then One and Tall, they were also sweet. They were so sweet. I liked them a whole bunch. There really wasn't a couple in the show that I was bored of or not interested in. Like, no matter who was on screen, I was all for it. So that was great. I liked Team with Damp Hair. Come on, I made a whole damn Twitter thread about it. And Win with Wet Hair looks good too, I'm not gonna lie to you. It was good. I wanted more swimming. We got more swimming. It was awesome. I liked the episode 11 becoming boyfriends and their confession to each other. It was a very emotional, powerful scene. It was a scene that we had all been waiting for so long. For so long. I just, it was so beautiful and it was so wonderful. And these kind of moments, they were everything I wanted to see, right? Like, I remember watching Until We Meet Again and looking at WinTeam and being like, they caught my attention. No, I had side couple syndrome with them for sure. And Win always had his arm around Team, and I remember saying, like, I really want to know more about them. Like, how did they get to that point? When did they meet? How awkward was it when they met? When did they have their first kiss? Are they boyfriends right now? I had so much I wanted to know, and I was trying to work it out with very little information. You know, you see in Until We Meet Again, Team going to Win's room, but you don't know if it's the first time or not. You don't know what the situation is. You don't know how close they are. I wanted to know all of that, and we got that. We got to see them become boyfriends. We got to see them have their first kiss, have their first night together, you know, explore those feelings and confess to each other in the end and become boyfriends. It was everything that I wanted from Between Us. I loved the Win and Team movie night with the popcorn and the play fighting. I liked the Valentine's Day with Nong Brock plushie. I loved that so much. They did Valentine's Day their way. They referenced broccolis. Honestly, it was just beautiful. I liked the conversation that Win had with Dean and Brooke. Dean is basically like, yeah, you're feeling love right now. And this was quite early on, right? So Win had not really accepted this yet. And we see him freak out about it later, but at this point, it's the first time that he kind of considers that Team is more than just a friend with benefits. And then it kind of goes to him putting the helmet on Team so that they can go home. And he kind of has that butterflies moment again, but like so strong, right? Like you can see him looking at Team like, yeah, this person means more to me now than what I thought they did. And it was very romantic and sweet. I liked it a lot. We had the pool kiss scene before the locker scene in episode 2, so we've talked about the locker scene. We talked about that. But in the same episode, right before that happens, Win goes outside to get Team, and they have their kiss outside. That was a beautiful kiss scene. You've got the contrast of the red and the blue with Team and Win, and their backpacks and stuff and their shoes. But you've also got a kiss scene where you see them like there's no gaps between them, right? Which you sometimes get in BL kisses. They're like pressed up against each other. You see like Team almost on his toes, like pressed up against him. And it came across so realistic and natural. I liked how happy and content Team and Win were in episode 12. How they seem to have overcome their obstacles. They're in such a good place now, and it just, everything felt so worth it, no? For them to get to that point, it's everything that we wanted for them. The idea that Team can forgive himself and start to move forward and be happy about getting a gold medal that he can have for himself. The fact that Win said he loved Team how many times this episode? So many times. He's not afraid of it anymore. He's got someone important to him, someone that's his, something that's not gonna leave, and he's not just constantly scared about losing that person. I'm so proud of them that they were able to just be so happy and content together in that final episode. And I loved all the beach scenes in episode 12 for all the characters, but especially WinTeam's final beach scenes. So at the very end, with Team saying, no matter what happens, they'll always have each other, kind of thing. And then Win picking him up, and then all the cast coming together for the very final beach scene. I just thought it was the perfect way to wrap it up. And it's just like such a nice, feel-good, happy ending. So the picture is from my drama list. It's a beautiful picture. I love it so much. I started on the day that it was released on Sunday the 6th of November, and I finished today on its last air date, which is 29th of January 2023. And the summary is from my drama list as well. Really, the only other thing that I want to add is I'm so proud of Boon and of Prem and of the whole cast and the staff and the crew, but especially Boon and Prem, for making this happen and making it as good as it was. And you can tell that they've poured their heart and soul into it. I know that I haven't known about Between Us or WinTeam Until We Meet Again, or even BL. I've not even known about any of that for a year yet. So I know I haven't had to wait as long as anyone else for this show to come out. But even just in the few months that I had to wait for it, and then the few months of it being aired, I've just grown so attached to the world and to the characters and to the story, and I'm just really proud of them. They just did such a great job with it. They really did. And like I said, I'm quite an introverted, socially anxious person, so I don't make friends very easily or anything like that. But meeting other Broccolis and people who love the show and kind of interacting with them has been so sweet and so nice. I'm just really grateful for for everything that this show and Until We Meet Again has given. I feel like I've gained a lot from it. Anyway, I should stop before I get like too much more emotional. That was my review for Between Us. Shiny Lines, it was the best. It's definitely one of the best shows that I've ever watched. And I know there's going to be people out there that disagree with me, and that's absolutely fine. As always, I respect people's opinions, even when they're different to mine. I come from an angle that I already loved WinTeam going into episode 1, so I was already crazy invested in it anyway. But I also hadn't been waiting 3 years, so I don't think my expectation was like crazy high, so I wasn't going to be easily disappointed either. So it just kind of blew my expectation out of the water, and it just kept getting better and better for me. So just personally, I just loved it. It was one of the best things I've watched in a long time. So that is it for Between Us. It is done. We are saying goodbye to Win and Team. I hope you enjoyed it. Until the next series, that is it from me. All right, bye.